Oh, hey there, it's me, Johnny Silvertoes, and I'm just up here in the Georgian Bay and just wanted to say, we're out here by the dock because you guys have been asking for a deck that rhymes with dock, and it's fucking Bardock. Let's get to it, huh? Well, hat's staying on. The focus is going to go nuts here. My hat's going to clip out of the screen. I don't know what's going on anymore, but Bardock, front side, 2 permanents. You can include extra cards and energy cost 2 or more in your deck. Easy, don't need to worry about that part. This is all gas, no brakes here. Second permanent, all of your red Bardock's crew cards in your battle area with original energy cost of 1 have their energy cost increased by 2. So all your 1 costs, 3 costs in the battle area. It's kind of to combat that good old Royal Supremacy extra card from King Cold. That'd be very scary. They came out at the same time, that's why. Auto, when this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your red sand cards with original energy cost of 1 in your hand and play it. Pretty fresh. You don't get a draw and swing, but you get to play cards. Some of the cards will draw, so we'll see. And then when you have 4 life or less, or you have 3 or more mono red sand cards in play, you may draw 1 card and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 4 life left, and flip this card over. Why? Why couldn't he just be able to, draw 1, untap 1? You're already making him cut down to 4. You could do something. We got Sin Shenron. You don't need to worry about cutting down. You got U7. You don't need to... This, come on, please. Awaken side, and oh my god, it focused without a sleeve, kind of, but not really. Let's hurry up with this. Double strike, permanent, same thing, where it increases the cost of all your 1-drop Bardock's crew cards. And then when this card attacks, you get to draw 1, then choose a red sand with energy cost of 1 from your hand and play it. You know what that means? That means we're going to get into the 1-drops. Starting off with the Bardock's crew 1-drops, we got my Heihachi Mishima looking motherfucker, Chain Borgos. Hell yeah, I usually see Borgos being a blue card that hates other blue cards, but nah. This boy, permanent, bond 3, red sand cards and or Bardock crew cards. This card gets plus 11k power, and auto when this card is played, draw 1 card. So, right off the beginning, you're not going to be drawing off swing unless you're playing Chain Attack Borgos, which she's kind of just replacing himself in hand. That's how she goes. Next up, another card that's going to help you thin your deck out, and that's Chain Attack Fasha. 4 of her as well, same permanent, gets plus 11k power with her bond 3, but her auto is when she's played, you look at the top 5 cards, add 1 Bardock screw that energy costs 5 or less, or 1 red unison with specific cost 2 or more among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Now we got our draw engine going. Now we can get into the heavier hitters here, and oh, I mean heavy. Chain Attack Shigesh here. I wish I had arms that large, unique, and his bond 3, he gets plus 10k. He's a 5k base. These other 2 are 4k base. But he gets double strike, baby. You definitely got to use him properly because you can only have 1 out at a time, but come on. Still 15 double if you got a proper board. And not bad for 1 energy or free with the leader. The last Bardock Screw 1-drop that isn't Bardock would be his best buddy, Tora. I'm only running 2 of Tora. He's not bad. If your leader is Bardock's crew card, when this card is played from your hand, you may add 1 red Bardock's crew that energy costs 5 or less that isn't Tora from your drop area to your hand, and then you can't play copies of this card for the turn. If you really need to search stuff out, he's good. And he has a bond 3 that is different than the rest because his just gives him blocker. Now into the good old captain of Bardock's crew, the aptly named Bardock. This hat is starting to squeeze my brain a little bit. You know what? That's okay. Bardock, Pride of a Low-Class Warrior. We got 4 copies of that. I'll explain why we got 4 copies of this in a little bit. Auto, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, it gets plus 11k for the battle. And he's got a second auto. If your leader card is a red sand card and you have 2 or more energy, when this card deals damage by attacking, switch this card to active mode. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Play up to 1 Bardock Screw with an energy cost of 1 among them. Shuffle your deck. The card you played with this skill and this card can attack for the turn. Whoop-de-doo, you know what I mean? This is what the deck came out with. That's why there's 4 in here originally. The better version of Bardock, I do believe, is Chain Attack Bardock. Don't get me wrong, he's really nice if you can't keep a board and your people are just wiping boards really quick, which is pretty easy. These are technically only 3 costs in the battle area, so they can get wiped and you can't get your bond. The better version, Chain Attack Bardock here, is probably the Bardock could be running at 4, and I'd probably be running him at 2, but I only got 2 here. That's what's going on. This is just the deck we were playing in the viewer battle. His bond 3, same thing, gets plus 11k power, but he also gains critical. Now we're getting into some good stuff here, and his auto is actually on attack, not on play. So when he attacks, you get to choose one of your opponent's cards and give it minus 4k power for each red sand and or Bardock's crew card in your battle area. So he's going to start minusing and wiping stuff. That's why I'd say you probably want him at least 3 or 4. He was super popular in King Vegeta before that deck got sent straight to hell. The last Bardock here, the new one, I really like. That's why I'm running him at 4. I see a couple other builds running him at like 2 or whatever, because they're probably just using him for his activate main, which that's the main reason he's in this deck. His activate main 2 red energy. If your leader's a red Bardock card and your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you discard this card from hand, choose up to one of your red Bardock cards with an original power of 20,000 or less, and it gets plus 5k power and dual attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. I'm slamming that shit on my leader every time. Are you kidding me? Double duel, his auto isn't once per turn, and it's a Sensu Bean until the start of my next turn? Forget about it. Also, auto limit 1. When this card is played, you get a look at the top card of your deck. Play up to 1 red Bardock's crew with energy cost of 1 with its auto skills negated for the turn, then shuffle your deck. Say you're going second. Your turn 1, you swing with your leader, you play him down for free, you play another one of these guys out, you still have 1 more energy to play another 1-drop. You know what that means? If you really are insane, I wouldn't recommend this at all. But you could awaken turn 1, because you'd have 3 of the red Saiyans out. It's a thought. Finishing off the Bardock's crew with the good old boss monster of the deck, the SS Bardock Super Saiyan Enlightenment. Super cool, I'll give him that. He is literally about to yeet shield straight into the ground, send him to Heffel where he belongs, right? Unique barrier, X-Evolve for 1 energy on a red Bardock with an original energy cost of 1. Bada bing. That's why we need a lot of Bardocks here. We're only running 3 of them because he's a 1 plus 10k combo. Because this deck, it's, 1 plus 10k combo. It's using most of its energy every turn, so it might be a dead card in hand. But when he's played, you get a look at the top 7 cards of your deck, place 1 Bardock's crew to the drop area, and then shuffle your deck. And then when this card attacks, you play 1 Bardock's crew with energy cost of 1 from your drop area, then choose 2 of your red Saiyan cards other than this card, and they get plus 5k for the turn. You definitely could use that on him as well. That might have been the original intention, but come on, it's good. It's good either way. I really like this card, and just having a beat barrier does help it out a lot. But most of the time, you basically get to play Shigesh or something to kind of push more damage, and the card you're playing gets played first, so you can give it the plus 5 afterwards, which is super cool. Another 1-drop that isn't part of Bardock's crew is SS Son Goku, the Legend Personified. Unique, when this card is played, draw 1, activate main, bond 3 once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, this card gets plus 21k power until the start of your next main phase. A 1-drop that's 25k, potentially free if you're swinging off your leader and playing him and still drawing a card. I think he is completely necessary for any Bardock build. Is super good. It was even better when Heartfelt Plea wasn't banned, or Belmod, or Tau. This deck, I had all those bastards in here, and it was beautiful. But this is the remnants. Well, we got a 1-drop Goku, so that means maybe we can evolve him. This is a newer card from set 19. I know we've already just had set 20, but come on, no one's playing Trio, so no one probably even knows about these cards existing. X-Evolve, 1 red energy on a 1-drop red Son Goku, and when this card's played by Evolve, you get to draw a card. When this card attacks, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, you get minus 15k power for the turn, and then it has an activate main that pertains more to the original deck that it's from, but we don't need to worry about that right now. The thing we gotta worry about is, this is X-Evolving on this guy. If you want to do it at the correct timing, your opponent's got 3 or more energy, you slam him down or use activate main at this point, he gets plus 21k. You swing with him, la-di-da, go nuts. Then you X-Evolve this guy on top, and when he X-Evolves, you draw 1 and you switch him to active mode. So he was swinging for 25, and then this guy, you get a swing for 19, right? Wrong. He got plus 21k power to get that. That power goes up, baby. This is going to be a 40k swing for basically a 2 energy commitment. 1 if you're playing it off the leader. This is ridiculous. 40k, and you're minusing something off of their board as well too. Another big boost to the deck is the Trio SR. I think this is super good because it's even more generic than the X-Evolve Goku. Active main for 1 energy, you get to choose 1 red Saiyan card in your battle area, play this card from your hand and place the chosen card underneath it. So the way it's worded, the card kind of is moving underneath it and it's still being stacked on top afterwards, so you are going to get the power boost, at least is what it's been ruled. And auto, limit 1, place 1 card from under this card to the owner's drop. When this card attacks, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 30k power for the turn. Awesome. Sweet. Ridiculous. 20k power, 1 energy. you're going turn 1. It has no energy restrictions, so you can swing with your leader, free play a 1-drop, and then tap 1 energy and play that on top, and then you have already a 20k turn 1. Sure, can get removed, but you also can remove basically anything off their board that doesn't have barrier. And we're talking about minusing here, minusing there. Might as well throw in a one-hit wonder too while we're at it. Basically, when you minus one of your opponent's battle cards, you can play him for free if he's not already in play. We're only playing one, so we don't have to worry about multiple copies not allowing the other one to be played. Next up, another tech card here being SSB Gogeta Resonant Explosion. I think he's good. Sometimes in matches he's a little bit cloggy just because of his combo cost. Obviously being red-green also, you are like on charging him. But Arrival, red-green, 1 red energy. When you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy costs 4 less, KO it, and I can't play him for the turn. Now we gotta have something red-green to combo just because we have him in this deck, so we are going with our combo cards next. Nappa, Demolition Man. We got 3 copies of the super combo. If you don't know what he does, you combo him at any amount of life, and after the combo he gets played in your battle area, so he's basically a double combo. And that's what's really nice with this deck is you have a lot of battle cards that you can just keep swing, combo Nappa, next guy swing, combo Nappa, and it just helps your aggression a lot. I know it won't help with your draw, but it does help put on pressure. And with a lot of these bonds, they do not require mono red sands. With your Leader's Awaken, that does require mono red sands, but all these guys just say red sand. He's a red sand, baby. For our 4th super combo, we're just going with 1 Raditz Sand Youth. Get our draw in there, just in case. You could split 2-2, but I find Nappa actually helps me a lot. There's some matches, like Red Sin and stuff, where Nappa hurts, because you're just like, he's just going to minus the Nappa anyway, and that's where I'd want to probably have more Raditzes, but as of right now in the game, you can't side out super combos, so, you know, it's just a fool's dream. 3 more combo cards, being 3 copies of Trunks Deluge of Power. Basically, all it does is get an extra 5k combo power when you're comboing it on one of your battle cards. And this deck's all about storming out battle cards. Why not just slam an extra 5k on your Chain Attack Bardock or on your Chain Attack Shigesh? Say you already gave it 5k from him, now you're swinging 20 double, combo this is 30 double. You know, they get strong. That's all I'm saying. And I guess the final combo card, this one's technically a combo card as well, as Vegeta Royal Evolution. I haven't really played him yet in the deck, but just the concept of him being there is the cool part, right? So auto 1 red energy if your opponent has 3 or more energy and it's your turn. At the end of battle in which you comboed with this card from your hand, switch one of your mono red leaders to active mode, and that card gets plus 5k power and has its keyword skills negated for the turn, and you can activate non-keyword leader card skills or skills on copies of this card for the turn. Big mouthful, just saying. You can restand a leader, you blanket skills, give it plus 5k for 1 red energy. And activate battle, if your leader's mono red and you discard this card from hand, choose with one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 10k power for the battle. So if you really need to shove this guy out, that's another way to get him out. The main reason I have this in the deck is just basically making my leader a blank finisher. If I'm doing this, boosting up the leader, he's already swung twice. Why not make him swing a 3rd time? Sure, he won't be double strike, but he's still carrying that power boost over, and he's going to be 25k just battering ram at that point. Next up, extra cards. Not 2-cost ones, because we can't have those, right? But Strategies of Universe 7, clutch card in this deck. This is a deck that I want to spam a board, right? And you know what happens this day and age to boards? They get wiped very easily. Unless they got barrier. Barrier, sure, barrier removal is there, but wiping an entire board, ignoring barrier, now those are some more expensive cards. So, Strategies of Universe 7, giving all of them barrier, and they're all 3 costs on top of that, it definitely helps the deck out a lot. As for negates, do I have a single hard negate in this deck? No, I said it's all gas, no brakes. The only slight break we have here is King Vegeta Imposing Presence. Basically, I'm running one. I pulled one of the SPRs. It looks beautiful. Vegeta and the boys, that's why it's in here. No other reason at all. This is a 50 card deck, so we are capping it off with a Dark Broly Heartless Berserker. Warp a card on play. He's just a free 30k. Obviously, there's that new Vegeta as well, too, that you can play, but I don't got him. This spot right here, right by my captain's hat, would be where the SCR would be. I don't have a proper SCR for this deck. The only one I can think of is Pan. Pan is probably the only one that works well enough. You could run Vegito if you're thinking you're going to go to turn 4, but honestly, with this deck, with the way it's built, you want to try to finish turn 3. You really want to put your opponent in a crippling position where they can't come back from and just end the game turn 3, slap down on the leader, and just go, 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 because you're playing 2 cards for free, you're going here, going there. Obviously, if they got a Floodgate, it goes nuts, so you could side in something like Broly Crowns if they had a Mecha Frieza or something like that, because if you use strategies of Universe 7 too early, you're not able to rest your own guys. So I'm saying Pan or Vegito, maybe. You could do Vegeta if you got them down to 1 life the turn before, just tap out and then just crit that last life, but Pan, I think, is just the better option here because you can play her earlier, and it gives you, I guess, another counterattack for the deck. As for Z-Deck, you know, you keep your Z-Deck in a special box, and it gets, it's gone. I don't know where the fuck they went. I've been looking for an hour before I started recording this, so that's going to be Goku, Defender of Life, perfect. Vegeta, you got Vegeta's too. You know, the one that minus his power SSB, whatever the hell he is, and maybe the Vegeta that can awaken you early. You don't use a Z-Deck in this deck, really. If you're, like, really far behind and you're getting dragged out, maybe. But I've never touched my Z-Deck at all in this deck, so I don't really give a fuck if you're not running one or not. Just put it there for intimidation factor. But with that being said, if you want to see this deck in action, you can watch the viewer battle. It's in the link in the description below. If you want to see any weird decks like this in action, go watch me on Twitch, Tuesdays to Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, viewer battles here, deck tournament run. This fucking thing is squeezing my head.